Journey Within Reiki, where we reflect, heal, and then embody new aspects of ourselves in each session. My name is Mark, and today we're going to be healing our inner child. In my opinion, healing the wounds of the inner child is one of the most important aspects of anyone's healing journey, simply because most of the unpleasantness that we experience as an adult stems from that time when we were small, and the patterns and behaviors that were built then that operate from our subconsciousness now. The reflection here is straightforward. We simply need to understand that back then, as children, our survival was attached to belonging. We needed to belong to a group, to be accepted, in order to make sure that our basic needs were being met, because we couldn't take care of ourselves in that way. To do this, we used what was available to us, which was essentially our self-expression. We were very clever at how we did this. We noticed which expressions, which thoughts, behaviors, opinions, and actions were accepted by others, and which brought about conflict, or maybe anger, and even threatened that we might be cast out from the group altogether. These are very scary moments when we're children, and when we experience these moments, we tend to put a little piece of ourselves away, that part that was unsafe in that moment to express. This is perfectly normal as we adapt our own internal expression to meet the requirements of the group in order to survive and be safe. This behavior, however, is not normal when we become adults and no longer need to belong to a group in order to have those basic survival needs met. But often we continue to behave as though our belonging and our relationships and our connection to the group still is necessary for our survival. We fight to protect our belonging, and we give up portions of ourself still as an adult. The characteristics that this takes on could be people-pleasing, or not being able to say no or speak up about our own needs, ask for help. It might simply be shrinking down to ensure that others stay intact or comfortable, or to avoid that conflict. Whatever they are, we all have these patterns, but they are still subtle forms of that self-abandonment of our own unique expression of self in replace of something that isn't aligned, that is part of the group, and that is tied to old fears of not belonging. So, when we're reflecting on this, we simply need to go back to those moments in time. Figure out what portions of our unique expression used to be there, but that we might have tucked away and forgotten about. Maybe it's time to bring those things back. It's important when we reflect to be kind to ourselves, not to judge or be critical. This is an emotional reflection, but that's okay. If there's emotion, that means the energy is moving and the healing is ready. Let the tears flow. Be kind to yourself, loving to yourself always. And that light of awareness is all that is required during this reflection period. So good luck, and we'll see you in a moment to begin the healing. When we're going to heal the inner child wounds, we can look at it from two ways. The first way is by performing what's called the soul retrieval exercise, which just simply means going back to those moments when we were hurt or scared and identifying what unique expressions of self we may have tucked away and forgotten about. When we were small, we all were very unique with special gifts, abilities, expressions that maybe weren't understood or accepted by the group, and we don't remember that we may have put them away and forgotten about them. It could be simple things such as laughing, crying, singing, or dancing. There are many of us who don't do any of those things anymore, but they are very important in living a full and expressive life. So when we go back to these moments, we can go back now without the fear or the hurt that we experienced back then, as an adult who has a understanding that we are going to be okay, and simply review these times, looking for those unique aspects of ourselves or those little gifts of expression that we used to have that we don't really bring about in our lives anymore. We can call these parts of ourselves back. We can think about what it might feel like to express ourselves this way again as an adult. We can set ourselves free by calling back this energy and expressing it again. It's what the inner child wants. It's been hiding in the shadows all of this time. It took the reflection and the light of awareness to even realize they were there. But now that they do, we can express these parts of ourselves again. It takes a little work. It's hard at first, but when we notice the feeling that arrives when we do, we will understand why this is healing. The second part of the healing journey for the inner child is to develop that nurturing language and to use it toward ourselves. It's a beautiful way to do this because we can go back and revisit our younger selves as an adult. We can speak to those younger selves, let them know that they're going to be okay, that they do survive, they are safe, they are loved. You do take care of them. Whatever it is that you feel that that inner child needs to hear, you can develop that language and offer it to the inner child to heal. Doing this helps to heal the inner child that's there, but it also helps you to develop that divine feminine energy that we all must express as a full embodiment of self. That nurturing voice that can come in and tell us that we are doing the best we can, that we are safe and we are loved, that it's okay to cry, it's okay to heal, it's okay to express ourselves as individuals, and we are safe without needing to belong to the group. So, developing that nurturing language will help us on the rest of our journey. It helps us anytime we are in struggle or that we feel pain within our lives to bring this language forward. This is a vibration of love that we are directing toward ourselves. It's important to remember that love is the most powerful healing energy we have available to us. It is the most authentic expression of ourselves. When we direct this powerful energy toward ourselves, we heal. So that is why we can use this exercise of healing the inner child to develop this language that we can continue to use for ourselves as an adult. So try those two healing modalities out and see how it feels for you. It's going to be a cyclical type of journey. We don't heal in a linear fashion, so have patience and don't worry if you have to revisit the same issues over and over and over again. Each time you do it with a new understanding. And we're going to talk about the embodiment of our healed inner child right now. So of course, all of that reflective and healing work wouldn't be any fun if we didn't actually use it to change our lives or ourselves for the better. So now that we have shined our light of awareness on these shadow aspects of self, and we have recognized how these fearful or hurtful situations of the past might be shaping some of the adult behaviors of self-abandonment in the present moment, the embodiment begins to happen when we choose to do something differently. It is that exercising of free will to make a different choice to be there for ourselves that creates this embodiment of a healed version of self. So maybe for you next time that means speaking up instead of staying quiet. Maybe it means asking for help. Maybe it means putting up a boundary in an unhealthy relationship or walking away from one that hasn't been fair or working for a long time. Maybe it's just reflecting on how you express yourself and how much you hold back to just appease the group that is there. This is how you embody your new version of self. And as challenging as it is at the time, what is important during this embodiment phase is to notice the feeling after. It might be a little challenging at first, and you might even feel cold for saying no, for putting up a boundary, for actually showing up for yourself. But this is not coldness that you're experiencing. This is the unfamiliar feeling of directing love toward yourself. This is self-love. You know your intentions. You know you're a good person. You can act in fairness for yourself and the other person without giving up parts of yourself. When you start to do this, choose differently, show up for yourself, then you begin to build a foundation of safety and security within. That allows you to express those unique aspects of yourself without being so concerned about the reactions of others, or without having that subconscious attachment to belonging based on the fear of surviving. You now can choose to express yourself fully, authentically, and bring that light that is the unique expression of you into this world. We will all be grateful for that, and you will feel free. You will feel energetic as this life force comes back and begins to flow through you again. Thank you very much for being here with me today. You are loved and appreciated here. There's plenty of free opportunity available through Journey Within Reiki in the description box if that feels right. And remember, you have the power to heal yourself, and you are safe and you are loved.